Welcome to Learn with Mr. Lewis. I am, of course, Mr. Lewis. And this is my amazing show. And this week, we're going in a little bit of a different direction. Or are we? Stay tuned to find out. Okay, what's the little bit of a different direction? Music. U2. Why U2? Well, U2 has, of course, started their historic 25-show performance at the Sphere in Las Vegas. I will be there on October 21st with my daughters. Yes, I have fully indoctrinated my children into great music, which means they listen mostly to great music. They also listen to some of that new garbage, but mostly it's the classic stuff. It's the best stuff. U2, the Beatles, the good stuff. Anyway, so what am I doing with U2 this week? Well, it's going to be a countdown of U2's 10 best songs. Or is it Mr. Lewis's 10 favorite U2 songs? Pondered this a little bit. What is it? And then I realized it's both. Because if they're my favorite, they're also the best. Right? If you agree, which of course you will, please comment. If you disagree, still comment. Just realize you're wrong. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna count them down. So why U2? Well, of course they have this great show that's going on in Las Vegas at this historic venue. Also, so many of their songs reference history and politics. And so it's very fitting for a history channel like mine. Also, U2, the sustained excellence over now their 5th decade. It's unbelievable, the output over so many years and so much great music over that time period. Another reason I'm doing this, of course, is because as a teacher, I love rankings. I mean, I love them anyway. I was known back in the day to watch all of the dumb VH1 countdown shows, top 40 hair metal bands, whatever it was, and I would argue with the television. Why? I don't know. It's another story. But here's the thing. I love ranking, and I love having students rank things. Why? Well, it's something that forces them to think critically. It's something that demonstrates that they have a deep understanding of something, because to rank one thing against another, you have to have that deep understanding. It's a lot of higher level thinking with ranking, so I use it every chance I get as a teacher. And I also do because I just love it. I enjoy rankings. So anyway, back in 2015, Rolling Stone released this special edition. Okay, and in it, it's got all kinds of great stuff about U2, but my favorite part, of course, is the article that counts down the 50 greatest U2 songs. And this inspired me to create my own list. This was also motivated by my children, who were like, you need to make a top 50 U2 Spotify playlist for us. And so I'm like, okay, let's make it. So I make this playlist. And it was supposed to be a top 50, and it ended up a top 78, because that was finally where I could stop. U2's just great. So many great songs. Such a great band. All right, let's count it down. Number 10. Now, some of these are a little bit obscure, and this first one is a bit obscure. It's probably not something that's in your typical top 10 of U2 songs, but it is for me. It's the great song, Wild Honey, from the year 2000. This is from the album All That You Can't Leave Behind. Rolling Stone didn't even rank it in the top 50. That's pathetic. But this is the real countdown that we're looking at. So number 10, Wild Honey. This is also a special song because it's one of my daughter's favorites. My daughter Cassie, she loves this song. And I have to have it in my top 10. I love the harmonies. They're excellent. And then the bridge. The bridge is just incredible. What is soul? Love me, give me soul. That part of the song, it's amazing. I would sing it for you, but you don't need that. Okay, moving on. Number 9. Number 9 is a classic U2 song, one of their first big hits, Sunday Bloody Sunday, from 1983. This is off the War album. Rolling Stone was a little better with this one, ranked it number 4. So that's doing it some justice. My favorite version of the song is the live version from Under a Blood Red Sky. It's the one where he starts off talking. He's all, there's been a lot of talk about this next song. Maybe a little too much talk. This song is not a rebel song. This song is Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Love it. And I loved it when I was a kid, when this first came out. And I've been hooked ever since. And the drums at the beginning and throughout by Larry Mullen Jr. are superb. All right, moving along. Song number 8, Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own, from 2004, from the album How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. Rolling Stone also did not rank this one, which is probably the biggest surprise that didn't make their top 50. This is one that you'd think would make everybody's top 50. Well, it makes my top 10. It's number 8. It's a very personal song. It's a song about his dad. It has a powerful music video. I think there might be 2 videos to this song if I remember right, but the one that I always watch is the one where he's just walking down a Dublin street and it's just a camera focused on Bono as he sings this song. The Edge's falsetto in the chorus is amazing. And I love that line from Bono where he says, "Can you hear me when I sing?" He's talking about his dad. "You're the reason I sing. You're the reason why the opera is in me." And I just love that. It's such a personal song about his relationship with his dad. There are all kinds of layers on the music. My children know what I'm talking about, and they're laughing right now because of the number of times I've mentioned layers while we've been listening to a song. I also love how the song builds to just this great climax. And once again, Mr. Lewis's children are laughing right now, and because of the number of times I've talked about how much I love it when a song builds. That's okay. This is also the favorite U2's song of my daughter Brooke, and so of course it has to make the list, and it absolutely deserves to be there. Okay, moving on. Song number 7. The newest song on the list, from 2014, from the album Songs of Innocence. It's Every Breaking Wave. Rolling Stone got this one pretty close to right. Rolling Stone ranked this one at number 13. This song has one of the best bridges of any U2 song, and that's saying a lot because U2 always has amazing bridges. My favorite line of the song, "It's hard to listen when you preach." Food for thought. Food for thought. Moving along, song number 6, one of the great songs that has a powerful historical reference by U2. Number 6, Pride. Pride in the Name of Love, 1984, The Unforgettable Fire. Rolling Stone put this at number 12. And of course, this song is a tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. The great line in the song, "Early morning, April 4, shot rings out in the Memphis sky, free at last. They took your life, they could not take your pride." And of course, this is a song that I love as a history teacher. I love the MLK reference. It's just a powerful, powerful song. All right, moving on. Number 5. Now, this is the one that might surprise a lot of you, that this song is in my top 5, but it absolutely deserves to be there, and it's probably the most underrated, underappreciated U2 song of all time. It is the great, great song that some of you are going to be like, "Huh? I'm not even sure I know this song." Well, you better go listen to it. What song is that? Original of the Species. Yes, Original of the Species, from How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. This is from 2004. Rolling Stone, of course, failed to even rank this song. That's pathetic. It has the best U2 music video out there. What was 2004 cutting edge computer animation. My kids absolutely loved watching this video. It's part of the reason that they love U2, because I had them watch this video over and over and over again, and they love the computer animation, and they love the song. And of course, my daughter Elena, this is her favorite U2 song. And she has informed me that if they happen to play this at the Sphere on October 21st, which they probably won't, but if they do, it's a long shot, but if they do, she's gonna cry a lot because she loves this song so much. Okay, moving along, number 4. Number 4 is a song that is also one that has an important historical and political reference. It's a song that was written, it was inspired by the Burmese political prisoner Aung San Suu Kyi, and this song is Walk On from the year 2000. This is my wife's favorite U2 song. It's my number 4 U2 song, so she's almost right on that one. She's close to being right, but not quite there. It's from the album All You Can't Leave Behind. Rolling Stone put this one at number 17. I, of course, have it at number 4. For me, it doesn't make me think of Burmese political prisoners so much as it makes me think of the 9/11 attacks. It always does. And that's because there was that great benefit concert that was done just a couple of weeks after 9/11, where U2 performed and a lot of other groups performed at this benefit concert. And U2 played this song, and it just, it has that feel, that 9/11 feel for me always. The amazing line, and I know it aches, in your heart it breaks, and you can only take so much. Walk on. Love it. Such a great song with such powerful lyrics. Moving along, we're to number 3 on the list. It is New Year's Day. This is off the War album from 1983. Rolling Stone put this at number 11. This was U2's first international hit. It's got the iconic piano at the beginning. And this is another political song. This song was inspired by Lech Walesa and the Polish Solidarity movement. At the time, Lech Walesa was in jail, and that's what this song is all about. It's about people standing up and people protesting and people trying to change things. It's a great song, and it, in a sense, documents what was happening in Poland at the time, which of course led to Polish independence from Soviet power. All right, moving along. Number 2 on the list is One. The song One. Certainly one of U2's greatest songs. In fact, their second greatest. It's from the album Achtung Baby, 1991. Rolling Stone put One at number 1, which is cute to have One at number 1. I like that, but I had to put it at number 2. And I love how each verse poses questions. I think that this song is maybe, it's hard to say, to know for sure on this. But I think it maybe is Bono's greatest vocal performance. You really feel the words, especially in the part of the song where he just seems to scream, "Love is a temple, love is the higher law. You ask me to enter, but then you make me crawl. And I can't be holding on to what you've got when all you've got is hurt." It's just an amazing song. Love it. And now we come to number 1. What's left? It's got to be a song off the Joshua Tree, right? We don't have one yet. Yeah, it is. But which song off the Joshua Tree? There's so many great songs off the Joshua Tree. Well, the number 1 greatest U2 song of all time is Where the Streets Have No Name. This is off the Joshua Tree, 1987. Rolling Stone put it at number 6. Again, close to right. They got it almost there. It is also my son's favorite song by U2. He's a smart boy. There was a lot of drama when the song was being recorded. If you ever get a chance to watch VH1's Classic Albums documentary on the Joshua Tree, they talk a lot about this. Brian Eno wanted to just erase the master tapes and start over. Fortunately, he did not. They were trying to sync up that beginning part, that great intro, with the rest of the song, and it was just difficult to get it to mesh. They were saying, Bono and The Edge were saying that it took longer to what's the word I'm looking for? Not to record, but to do the work to get it ready for the album. It took longer. They spent more time on Where the Streets Have No Name than the other songs on the album put together. And it was worth it because it's their greatest song. And of course, there's the iconic video on the Los Angeles rooftop, Where the Streets Have No Name, number 1. I'd love to hear your comments. What are your 10 favorite U2 songs? They're not the best U2 songs. They're your favorites because the best U2 songs I've just laid out for you. But what are yours? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see what you think. Please put that in the comments. Please, and please like this video if you've enjoyed it at all, or if you haven't, still like it. I would appreciate it. Okay, let's now move on to Today in History. We're starting on Monday, October 9th. And the event is a musical event. How fitting. 1940, the great John Lennon was born on this day, October 9th, 1940. Now, what's fascinating about John Lennon is, of course, so many things. One of the greatest musicians in history, but his middle name, Winston. Did you know that comes from Winston Churchill? And when you think about the fact that he's born in October 1940, it makes perfect sense. Winston Churchill became Prime Minister of Britain in May, in one of the darkest times in British history. Dunkirk happened soon afterward. The Battle of Britain is raging at the time that John Lennon is born, and this great leader, Winston Churchill, was leading this nation through this most difficult time as Britain was on its own against the power of the Third Reich. And not surprisingly, you have John Winston Lennon. I wonder how many other young British children had the middle name Winston at that time. Maybe a lot, I don't know, but this one did. John Lennon, 1940. Tuesday, October 10th. In 1845, the prestigious U.S. Naval Academy opens in Annapolis, Maryland. This is a big deal, of course, as it has trained naval officers ever since that time. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Navy. Why? Well, my grandfather was in the Navy between World War I and World War II. I have two brothers who have served in the Navy, and we have some great family friends that have a connection with the Navy. In fact, recently, I was in Utah visiting with these friends of our family, and it was kind of cool because this was with Ken and Donna, and I learned something about Ken I never knew before, that Ken attended the U.S. Naval Academy, which you have to have some brains to get into the Naval Academy, and that he was a star student and became an officer in the Navy. And Donna showed me the picture of Ken at the Naval Academy, and was bragging about him a little bit, as she should. And so a little personal connection with the Naval Academy, and a shout out to Ken and Donna. Let's move on. Tuesday, October 11th. Sorry, Wednesday, October 11th, 1991. So Steve Jobs has this great name for his company, Apple. Problem is, the Beatles own that name. And so this created some drama. In 1978, the Apple Corps, the Beatles essentially filed suit for trademark violation. 3 years later, they're able to come to an agreement, and in that agreement, Apple promises that they will never run any music software on their systems. Oops. That becomes a problem years later because, wow, computers and music on computers look like they're going to become a big deal. And so in 1991, this deal is reached where Apple has to pay Apple Corps $26.5 million to be able to run music software. And of course, just 10 years later, Steve Jobs saves the company with music through iTunes and the iPod that both came out in the year 2001. It changes everything, and it's changed the way we communicate today. All of you iPhone people out there, not I, but for all of you iPhone people out there, congratulations, way to spend more money than you need to. Okay, moving along. Thursday, October 12th, the year 2000. This one makes me sad. It makes me sad in so many ways. This is the USS Cole that hits a Navy destroyer. This was a suicide bombing attack on the USS Cole that was staged by Al Qaeda. And this is a year before the September 11th attacks, and it's not the first attack that we see from Al Qaeda. Of course, you had the 1998 embassy bombings in Kenya and Tanzania. And it's all part of that, besides just the devastation of this single attack with 17 Americans killed. It's the frustration that how did we not see this coming better? How did we not do more to prevent what happened on 9/11 with some very obvious attacks that came beforehand, including this one in the year 2000. And finally, we've reached the end of the week. Friday, October 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th, people. Ooh. Okay, I'm scared. Very scared. I'm not. 1792, the cornerstone is laid for the White House, which was, of course, originally known as the Executive Mansion, but everyone just called it the White House. So finally, in 1901, we just capitulated, and now it's officially called the White House. Bye-bye, Executive Mansion. Anyway, it was completed in 1800. John Adams was the first president to live in the White House. Of course, it burned in 1814. Thanks, Brits, War of 1812. But it was rebuilt. If you want to learn more about the White House, great idea for you. On Hulu, or it's probably available also on history.com, but certainly on Hulu, you can watch the History Channel's great documentary from the series America's Book of Secrets on the White House. Fascinating. There's also a video guide in the Mr. Lewis store on that. So if you're using that with your students. Also, this is a little bit of a teaser for next week, as Mr. Lewis goes to Washington. And I will be filming all the videos that you'll see next week from Washington, D.C. I'll probably be standing in front of the White House at some point. And you can think of this, and you can think of me. Thanks. Learn with Mr. Lewis. Do you want to see some more of Mr. Lewis? Of course you do. You're addicted. There's a great video here, another great video here, and you can subscribe right here. Do you want to see some more of Mr. Lewis? Of course you do. You're addicted.